Dark Knight's Death Metal, a follow-up to 2017's epic DC event, Dark Knight's Metal. I am pumped. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Comic Island, and well, let's just dive deep into this. So what can we expect from Dark Knight's Death Metal? Well, the amazing team-up of Snyder and Capullo made a promise to bring us an epic story in Dark Knight's Metal, and they not just delivered, but backhand slapped us with a dark multiverse concept, brought a Dream of the Endless into the mix, pushed the boundaries of the idea of who created the multiverse with the inclusion of the Forger and his pet Barbados, 7 new evil versions of Batman, with each one of them more twisted than another, and of course the rise of the most brutal, evil, twisted version of Batman that I have ever read, the Batman Who Laughs. Dark Knight's Metal premiered in 2017, where we see Batman exposed to 7 heavy metals that made him a living doorway to the dark multiverse: Electrum, Dionysium, Prometheum, Nth Metal, and Batmantium. This doorway opened up, allowing an entity called Barbados to release his minions: the Drowned, the Dawnbreaker, the Merciless, the Devastator, the Murder Machine, the Red Death, and of course the Batman Who Laughs. Each evil version of Batman subjugated members of the Justice League. Superman was used as a living battery while Batman was lost in the dark multiverse. The entire superhero community joined in on the action, and Cyborg gets a huge upgrade. He opens a doorway allowing good versions of Batman through to the battleground. This is the ultimate fight to repel Barbados and the dark multiverse away, but behind the scenes, Batman, with the help of his greatest foe, battles it out with the Batman Who Laughs. Batman finds a way out with a cosmic being, the Monitor, who was a prisoner of the Batman Who Laughs. The DC Trinity is reunited, and using a primordial metal armor crafted in the World Forge, saves the multiverse again by returning everything to the status quo. Barbados is defeated, the dark multiverse doorways are closed, and the Batman Who Laughs is last seen of fighting the Joker. Moving forward with this event, Batman opens up the JL and welcomes Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl into the fold. He also started up the Hall of Justice, now conveniently located on Earth. The Martian was then selected as chairman of the Justice League, and the team goes on to battle Lex Luthor's Legion of Doom and the god entity Perpetua in the Year of the Villains. But now, DC Comics has announced Dark Knight's Death Metal with the returning team Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, my current favorite writer and artist combo. These two have the hugely successful Dark Knight's Metal as a resume, even though they don't need it, but with Dark Knight's Death Metal, this new tale promises to be bigger, louder, faster, and metal-er. Issue 1 out of 6 will hit bookstores May 13th, 2020, so we don't have to wait too long, and of course there will be a few one-shots, part of their Metalverse line, that will expand the concept of the dark multiverse even further. So let's get into what we can expect from Snyder and Capullo's Dark Knight's Death Metal. Following the events taking place in Batman Superman, the Earth slowly got consumed by dark multiverse energy. The Batman Who Laughs successfully takes on lieutenants and transforms a list of heroes into his own twisted army. We got corrupted versions of Shazam, Donna Troy, Supergirl, Blue Beetle, Hawkman, and Commissioner James Gordon. Flash and Wonder Woman made compromises as they negotiate with presumably the Batman Who Laughs to keep humanity alive in a dystopian-like landscape. Batman, being the rebel that he is, goes literally underground and forms a resistance in hopes of taking back their city and the world. But Superman is an intriguing one. He is imprisoned in the sun and cursed to power the Earth's sun indefinitely. This reminds me of 2 stories where Clark ended up in the sun. Superman All-Star, where he leaves for the sun at the end of the series, and then there's Superman Prime, the DC 1 million story where he stayed in the sun for, I believe, millions of years. He came out as, well, basically a god. But this Superman, the fact that he is imprisoned in the sun might be a hint that he voluntarily went there, and with his abilities, he powers the sun in order to keep Earth alive. This might be the Batman Who Laughs' plans to remove Superman from the board, but that begs the question: Superman, without the yellow sun, eventually loses his powers and becomes almost human. How are they going to explain Superman powering the sun without draining him to death? Or maybe that's the plan. Then there's Batman, who's no stranger to being beaten up and going full rogue like he did during Zero Year. But this time, we assume he lost all his tech and rides a bone motorcycle taken right out of Mad Max Fury Road. His weapon of choice is a sickle, much like the weapon of choice for the Batman Who Laughs. The Flash is mentioned to be partnered with Wonder Woman, but so far, no pictures of him, and there's no mention of the other Justice League. Members like Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, a Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl. Hal is the first Green Lantern to join the JL, but then recruits Simon Boss and Jessica Cruz joined after Hal left. The current Green Lantern on the JL roster is John Stewart, who was a big part in Snyder's Justice League run as the team faces the biggest threat so far, Perpetua, a literal god who creates universes at her will. Speaking of Perpetua, at the time of making this video, she hasn't been defeated yet. As a matter of fact, the Justice League lost the war as she is free to shape the multiverse in her image. She already destroyed the steampunk universe Earth 44. How is she gonna tie into Dark Knight's death metal? Well, according to the writers, Dark Knight's death metal spins right out of Snyder's Justice League run with James Tynion's Year of the Villain Hell Rising story, where Lex Luthor, Perpetua's apex predator, battles it out to the death with another apex predator that Superman and Batman couldn't take down, the Batman Who Laughs. So Snyder and Capullo have said that their last Batman team-up would be Batman Last Night on Earth. I took it as they wouldn't be collabing anymore, but Dark Knight's death metal is their brainchild that they were planning since the original source, Dark Knight's metal. This was a bit confusing at first, but what it means is that Batman is not the main character in Dark Knight's death metal. He is downgraded to a supporting role, and a chainsaw-wielding Wonder Woman takes center stage. She will have help from a mysterious figure that I believe will rock the DCU, whoever he may be. Whatever it is, I am super excited because the magic these two have together is amazingly surreal. Their Dark Knight's metal was a game changer. Most notably, it extended the multiverse by introducing us to another multiverse within the Omniverse, and of course, they introduced an amazing new villain that makes me open my wallet. But what about Superman? The fact that we are teased with how rugged he is must mean that this is his look after escaping the Sun prison. This Superman looks like he went through hell. He is also a supporting character because Dark Knight's death metal is a Wonder Woman story. Does it mean that in a few years we'll get Superman as a main character? So what do you think about this epic new story arc coming our way in a few months? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in another Comic Island video.